Welcome to the Moon Magic Tarot channel. Thank you for joining me. This is your weekly guidance from Spirit. I post readings every Sunday. Now, you can tune into any of these, of course, at any time. Oh, wow, there is the card for reading number one. We're going to draw 3 cards and a rune and a charm to help to guide you in. And at the time that I'm doing these readings here in the Northern Hemisphere, we are literally about to celebrate Lammas. So the energy of that Earth Festival, it'll be Imbolc in the Southern Hemisphere, Lammas in the Northern Hemisphere. So the energy of that Earth Festival is literally around us and therefore within this reading. So we're going to be using lots of cards that are very Earth centered today. So we already have white chestnut to help to guide you in. You know, very interesting, because Lammas is like it's the first full bit of harvest. It's when the grain is brought in, and of course within the grain is also the seeds, are also the seeds of potential for next year. So it's a very interesting energy in terms of fertility, both completions, beginnings. Anyway, I'm not going to waffle on too much. We'll just see how that energy comes into our readings today. Reading 1, you have white chestnut, and let's see what we are going to use for. And there is reading 2. I'll hold these up for you in just a moment, and you can have a good look at the cards. And that's back in, see what we are. Yeah, there we are. That's reading number 3. Okay, so let me hold these up so you can have a good look at them. So this is the card for reading 1, white chestnut. The card for reading 2, centauri, or centauri is perhaps how it's pronounced. And reading 3, we have vine. Now I'll draw a rune and a charm as well for anyone who likes those extras to guide them in. Okay. So reading 1, you have the rune of gateway. Reading 2, you have the rune of signs. Signs, signals, synchronicities. And reading 3, you have the rune of openings. Okay, we'll draw a charm as well. Okay, we have 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so reading 1, you have the beautiful cat. Reading 2, the tree of life. And reading 3, you have the leaf. A major symbol really of fertility. Gosh, there really is an energy here. It's absolutely lovely. Absolutely beautiful, very earthy kind of feel to these cards. So Super Souls, I'm going to leave the video running just for a few moments so that you can take some time to tune into whichever of these these cards, runes and charms are speaking to you. There may be more than one. And if you need more time, just press the pause button. I'll put the timestamps in the information box below and in the comments for phone users, and I will see you in the readings in just a moment. Reading number 1, welcome. So you have been drawn to this reading with the card of white chestnut. We have the beautiful little cat charm and also the rune of gateway. Now, before we dive into what this little combination means, just in itself, I'm going to actually draw some other cards, and we're using a lot of earth orientated cards today. As I was saying at the very beginning, for those of you who were tuning in, you know, we're in the energy of Lammas here in the Northern Hemisphere. So it's a significant harvest point, and also point of fertility as well. So really interesting. So we're going to draw from the Gaia, the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. 3 and 4. I think also from the Wildwood Tarot as well, very earthy pack. And I think the Enchanted map oracle cards as well. Do you know, it feels like 4 from each. Isn't that interesting? It's like a medicine wheel. The 4 directions I think we're looking at. Let's have a little look and see what we've got here. Okay. Right. Oh, this is very, very interesting. Okay. Let's have a look and see what we've got. Let's put these cards out first of all. So first of all, you have the Ace of Arrows, the breath of life. Okay. You have the Nine of Bows, respect. The Page of Arrows, Wren, and the Sun of Life. This is traditionally the Sun card. It's very interesting. Look at the imagery that we have here. We have here this particular white horse. This is actually I can tell you, this is an image of the Uffington white horse. It's one of the oldest ones. It's just outside of, I live in Wiltshire here in the UK. This is just outside of Wiltshire, literally on the border. It's one of the oldest white horses. And this, in this Ace of Arrows, the breath of life, you actually have part of that white horse. You have part of the head of the white horse. Looking at it from, we're looking at the horse from a different direction. So here we're kind of in the head. We're in the eye of something, okay? Whereas here in this white horse, we're standing back and we're seeing something from a different perspective. Page of Arrows, Wren, Nine of Bows, respect. Let's look at our oracle cards as well. Intention is your first card. I hope we can see that well. Intention. Place that here. We then have making a choice. Follow the leader. And field of dreams. And then, interesting look, we have Ace of Air. Now this is interesting because this is Ace of Arrows, Ace of Air. It's the same card. It would be the Ace of Swords in a traditional pack. It's very much about the energy of the mind. We then have the Ten of Water. We have the card of Abundance. And then we have, this is very interesting here, reading number 1. I hope you can see all these cards here and it's not too much bright light coming here for this card. And then we have the 5, wow. I need to say this is just fascinating. Okay, so we have the 5 of Earth. Now, this is really interesting because it's actually a card of deception. Okay, so very strong imagery. It's got a trickster energy around it. Okay, there's a trickster energy around it, and what I need to say to you is, if you have a look at the image, it's a very striking image of this person here with this deck of cards, but right behind in the shadows, you know, you can see there is the figure of a woman. So this card brings in a trickster energy. Now, because we have the Ace of Arrows, breath of life, the white chestnut is, the white chestnut energy sort of asks you to get out of your head. Okay, it kind of suggests that maybe we're overthinking something. That's what's really coming through here. And it's really interesting, the imagery here of the Ace of Arrows, the breath of life. We start from the head, you know, and then we stand back, and the revitalization, the energy of the sun comes through standing back and seeing something with greater clarity. Standing back. I feel like there's some situation around you. I mean, this is your weekly guidance. So these cards are here for, we're really looking at the next week and what your spirit team's information and advice are, you know, is here for you right now. What does Spirit wish you to see? Now, what you're being shown is here, reading number 1. And what you're being asked is actually to step back, to step out of your own head. It's almost as if you're being influenced by, sort of slightly tricked into some aspect that has come from the past. You know, something, you know, repetitive thinking patterns that are slightly tangling you up. Now, the rune of gateway, even superstitions, you know, like when we see something and we interpret it to mean something, or we sit down and we're thinking, well, you know, I'm going to have a conversation with someone. Well, if they say this, it will mean that. Well, of course, actually, you're almost calculating the entire conversation before you've got there, and it doesn't allow you to properly hear what the other person is actually saying. You know, we all do it. We all kind of get into that space of anticipation. What this reading is actually saying, what your spirit team is saying is, look, you know, step out of those pre-expectations, step out of that going over and over and over something in advance of the situation. You're needing to stand still and review, but review from a place where it's like you remove assumption. Okay, so that's what I'm really hearing this week. There's an energy around, and your spirit team is saying to you, I feel like you're having to hold your own in some way here. You are having to hold your own. You're having to make a choice. You're having to make a decision about something. And so there's a choice and a decision around you. And you do need to sort of aim true in terms of this decision. So there's a choice around you, reading number 1. You need to aim true and make a decision about something. The outcome here is looking very, very favorable for you. Okay, we have the Sun of Life and we have the card of Abundance. So the outcome is genuinely looking favorable. What your spirit team are actually saying to you very clearly here in this reading is that the decision, it's like the process of decision making here for you at the moment could be in danger of being coloured, you know, almost the trickster energy, coloured by repetitive thinking or the anticipation or the assumption of something. Okay, you are going to have to be clear about something, and there's an aspect of almost, I want to say, territorialism. It's like you have to defend your own boundaries or your own space. But the key is to do so with respect. If we make an assumption about what someone else thinks, we're not really offering the respect of allowing them to tell us what they think and what they feel. You know, when we operate on assumption, yeah, we're skewed, we're distorted. Our perspective is distorted. So you do need to sing your own song. You know, a wren is, they're quite territorial. They're tiny, but they're strong. They're very determined as well. Okay, so your determination is being honoured. Your choice is being honoured here. But the process of this, your spirit team is saying, don't let your mind deceive you. Don't assume anything here. What your spirit team are suggesting here, and it's very interesting as a weekly reading, you know, this is the Sunday reading that I upload every week. What your team is saying is the choice that you need to make, and it does have to be made here. I'm sorry that there is such a shine here that stops the I don't know what I can do about that actually, unfortunately, today, but we'll leave it there. Maybe it's just that we should just trust that the light is being shone here on this card with deliverance. Your angels, your guides, your spirit team are really highlighting that the nature of this choice is important to you. Don't be superstitious, don't assume. There's something about being very real in this process. Work out what it is with great clarity that you wish to achieve. Okay? You know, sometimes we can get involved, if we've got to make a choice, we can literally tangle ourselves up in all the what ifs. What if this happens? What if that happens? And it colours our viewpoint, and it starts to build into our almost like assumptions about what other people think and what their part will be. All that you need to do here, and your spirit team are advising of success. I mean, this is beautiful that we have the Sun of Life and the card of abundance. There is a successful outcome promised here. So any anxiety or fear around that, your team are trying to diminish any concern that you may have. You know, there is a real creative opportunity here. You know, the 10 of Water, it's a beautiful card. Beautiful card, the 10 of Water, and we have the turtle here. This is the imagery of new beginnings, new opportunities. You know, again, it's really promising abundance. It's promising, you know, a loving solution if you're having to make a choice that, you know, you're anxious about. It's promising a loving, supportive, abundant outcome, full of vitality, a solution that works for everybody. You know, but there's a need to get clear in a different way. Okay. And the clarity of that is to do with respecting the other people's perspectives. Hold very clear what is the outcome that you wish to take place, because look at the eggs we've got here. Now, this is such a magical thing to show up at a time of Lammas. Lammas is a time of harvest. That's the energy here in the Northern Hemisphere right now. Now, the Earth festivals, it's very relevant here actually, because the Earth festivals are a time of giving back to the Earth, of offering respect to the Earth, thanking the Earth, because everything that ultimately we manifest comes from the Earth. You know, the Earth is our home. She provides everything, whether it is these cards, you, me, you know, everything ultimately has come from something that has come from the Earth. Whether it's the air that is magnetically held in the atmosphere that we breathe, whether it is the fire in our heart or the fire that keeps us warm, every aspect of our lives we have because of the Earth. And the Earth festivals are amazing because they're times when we honour the Earth and we have ceremonies of appreciation and gratitude. The interesting thing is, in terms of those ceremonies and our own desires, intentions, wishes, you know, intention, very important here. Wishes, the owl with the, you know, the dandelion full of wishes, the seeds here, the seeds of intent. And that's here, you know, we are about to, it's as if this decision pertains, is that the right word? Pertains to some aspect of something that you want to bring in, like a conclusion. So a harvest, a conclusion, and that conclusion within itself contains seeds for the future. Okay, a new direction or an opportunity for you to both have something and the potential for a new direction or a turning point in your life. And the energy of Lammas, Earth festivals, all the Earth festivals, it's as though the Earth herself pauses for breath, and we can, if you really get still, you can feel that magical turning point, and channels are open for us to lean into higher perspectives, higher vision, to get out of our own head and get away from the ego mind and hold the higher vision and the higher perspective, which is also what Follow the Leader is all about, this card here. Now, because it's like we lead by example, and when we give back to the Earth, we are centering ourselves in gratitude and appreciation. And of course, it's a completely win-win situation, because gratitude and appreciation are such a high vibration that helps us to then magnetically draw to us, even though we're ultimately giving something back. We're thanking, in this instance, the earth for all that she gives to us, because we've created a space of gratitude. And forgive this long-winded story, but there's a really important message coming through this actually for you, reading number one. Because we've centered ourselves in gratitude for all that we've received, the outcome we desire is then going to come to us. Okay, that's the nature, you know, of, it's the win-win situation of the Earth festivals. Now you have a choice to make about how you approach something here. It definitely, I feel, pertains to the process of getting something for yourself that you want, that can create a turning point for you, or will bring something in that will create the next step ahead for you in some way, shape or form. And whilst you are strongly wanting to ask for something, I feel that is what you want, and you feel very entitled to it, I have that sense around it, you're also being asked to be very conscious of all other parties here. And the approach that is being honoured here is one of appreciation and gratitude. Get out of your head in terms of assumption and move into a space of appreciation, gratitude for all you have received already in some kind of situation, connection. And from that space, hold the ultimate desire and anticipate or expect to go in and have some form of communication or negotiation. You know, lead by example by being honourable and respectful. Don't let assumptions or fears or superstitions get in the way here, because your mind could lead you astray. And if you can remove yourself from that energy and see the bigger picture, then the outcome is going to be very prosperous for you, very abundant for you. The outcome that you desire, the ultimate goal that you desire, which you can get focused on, you know, that field of dreams, that egg that you want to hatch, the seed is going to hatch for you. It's going to bring forth. So it's a very interesting choice that you have to make here, reading number one, and that's what I'm seeing very clearly. Conscious of doing this, it's almost as though I keep feeling like I need to shield the light coming in so that you can see this choice clearly, that there's more than one way of going about this. That's what I feel I'm almost having to do here. Maybe actually what we'll do is move that card back up here so you can now see it. That feels much better. Okay. Yeah, that feels good. So don't clutter. Don't, don't clutter this. The rune of gateway is very straightforward. It asks us to metaphorically climb to the top of a hill, which is of course exactly what this Uffington White Horse is on. The Uffington White Horse is on a beautiful hill. If you climb to this hill or any other hill, metaphorically climb to the top of a hill and pause. Glance back over everything that has happened that's led you to this particular choice, this decision. Give thanks, and again, it's all about gratitude. Give thanks and gratitude for every single experience along the way that led you to this point of choice. And, you know, because everything has been brought with purpose and it's helped you to grow. Reach that point of learning, of appreciation for everything. And from that space of appreciation, you can then enter into this choice, decision, negotiation, and the outcome will bring you the desired intention, the ultimate, basically the result that you desire, but you can get it in a very beneficial way that respectfully honors everyone. That is what this reading is about. So I think what we will now do, just to conclude this reading, I think actually, you know, Super Souls, I'm going to draw, just debating which cards to use. I usually have, as I do, a lot of cards around me. I actually feel I want to draw some more runes for you. Just to give us an idea of where this is going, and for reading number one. Lovely. We have the rune of constraint, we have the rune of protection, and we have the rune of partnership. Okay, so this is very, very clear. You definitely are being asked to liberate yourself from the overworkings of your mind. You do need to pay attention to the details, cross the T's, dot the I's. You know, the rune of constraint says at the moment, it's almost as though you're feeling like the choice you have to make isn't going to work out in your favour, and so you're defensive almost about it. I don't know how best to say it, or maybe you're fearful of the other party being defensive. But actually, if you're in that space of appreciation for everything that has so far led you to this point, and you step out of your own head, that trickster energy of assumptions, actually, you know, this is fine. I mean, the moment you step into a place of respect, you are protected. The rune of protection speaks of, not diving into the highs and lows of the emotionality of things. And it speaks of right action, taking right action, respectful. Partnership, there is a real opportunity here to navigate this position that you're in, this choice with some other, I believe it involves some other party. And the moment you step into that space of respectfulness, of appreciation, the navigation of this is going to work out really smoothly. The key here, your spirit team are saying, just get really, really clear about your desired wish, your desired outcome. Step away from all of the other stuff that has been spiraling in your head. Press that pause button and the outcome will be just as you desire. And it will be beneficial for all parties. So this is, you can, sing your own song, but do it in a manner that is respectful and full of gratitude and appreciation. And the seeds of the future are going to come to you. Reading number 1, I think that is your reading for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. I feel this is a real turning point, as of course these are turning points at these pivotal moments of the year when we naturally are offered, I think, the earth energy. We are all in line and we are all in alignment and attuned with the earth, whether we are aware of it or not, because the earth is the life giver to us. And so being in tune with that turning point, there is an amazing opportunity here for you to tap into this energy of both harvest and the seeds of the future direction for you. Super Souls, if this reading is resonating with you and aligning with your circumstances and it's helpful to you and you'd like to get notification of any of my readings as soon as I post them, I post every Sunday with weekly guidance and lots of other spontaneous readings and a lunar forecast for the week, for the energy of the week as well. I post those on Fridays. Do subscribe and press the little bell icon, and that way everything should come into your stream. I put a lot of free stuff into the world. The readings that you can access, I've made a timeless readings playlist as well. I'll put the link to that in the information box, and the comments for phone users and any other relevant links. I have a monthly prize draw where I give away a free private reading and some oracle cards. I didn't use those cards in this reading, but I'll just put all the links in the information box for you. If you want to, the monthly prize draw is a subscriber offer. So if you wish to subscribe and join my my subscriber email list, you will then be in that monthly prize draw for a free private reading or some oracle cards. Once you're in it, you're in it. So do access that. I'll put the link below to Super Souls. There is such a favourable outcome here for you. It's all about how you approach it, and that's what your spirit team are speaking to you about in this reading. Tons and tons and tons of love to you. Welcome, reading number 2. You have been guided in by the card of Centauri and the charm of the Tree of Life and the rune of signs and symbols and synchronicities. I'm going to place this here and we're going to draw other cards before we dive straight in. Now, because I mentioned at the beginning we're we're in the period of Lammas here in the Northern Hemisphere. It will be Imbolc in the Southern. I'm going to draw Earth cards. So this is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. 1, 2, 3, and one more, and 4. And we'll also draw from the Wildwood Tarot as well. I'll put the cards as always in the information box for anyone wanting to know what they are. And again, one more. Isn't it interesting how I always think the way the cards come out, I mean, I know many of you are really experienced readers. The way the cards come out, it's like I've drawn 3 and had to shuffle again for the 4th one from each of these. It's a really interesting energy around your reading 2. And this is your weekly guidance. And that's your 4th. Okay. So let's see what we're shown. Okay. So we have the card of Strength, Education, Bone Collector, and Commitment. Okay, we have the Moon on Water. Ten of Arrows, Instruction. Seven of Bows, Clearance. Oh, reading number 2. 10 of Vessels, Happiness. This reading is becoming very clear. Very, very clear indeed. You have abundance. This is lovely. Excuse my chuckle. The card of abundance came out in reading number 1 as well. You have the card of abundance, although in a very different way. This is a very different reading. If you were drawn to both, it will be very interesting to see how you find that. Now we have the 5 of Air. We have the 2 of Water. Okay, we have the card, the Youth. These are very interesting. Okay, we have Strength. I love that we have Education and Instruction. Strength. Education. The Bone Collector. Now I'm just going to place the Bone Collector and Commitment just to one side for a moment. We'll come to them in a second. Let's just place these cards right here now and make sure you can see everything. Okay, and I will say, let's dive into the message that I am seeing here around you. So your view at the moment, your gaze, your first card, Century. Century tells us that you have, it's like your view, your attention is taken by someone else at the moment. You're observing someone else. You're looking after someone else. There's a connection with somebody, and your connection to that person, it's almost, there's something about the connection to them where they need quite a lot from you. And because they need quite a lot from you, your attention is almost, it's like you're losing sight of yourself here. It's like you're not able to see your own needs here. You know, we have 2 dragonflies in this card here. Dragonflies are very much about illusion here. It's almost as though there's something of this person's energy that feels as if I can't say that they're pulling the wool over your own eyes. That's perhaps not the right, it's not exactly how it is, really. But you do need to see something, the moon on the water. It may even be that this person is presenting you with a kind of a mirror, a reflection of you in some way, but there's something of their needs that is currently overshadowing your own. It's as if something that they need is being prioritized over and above what you need. Tree of Life. Reading number 2, in this weekly guidance, the reading of this weekly guidance, I post these every Sunday. I mean, whenever you find them, you'll find the right reading for you. What is taking place right around you is there are signs around you. I think you are starting to notice, for some of you, that maybe the demands of this person are quite high, or could be quite high, you know, or that it's almost like gradually, slowly but surely, you know, you're perhaps noticing that in the conversations you have with this person, maybe they are perhaps a little bit childlike, you know, a little bit adolescence, almost as if they, you know, they love you, they really look up to you, but it's almost as if they look to you for guidance, and you are instinctively responding to that energy. But it means that your needs within the relationship are sort of becoming a little bit diminished, or aren't being recognized. And this is an important sign. I think you're beginning to see this. You're beginning, if anything, do you know what's really interesting? I think they maybe remind you of a you that you were some years ago. It's like there's something about their current circumstances, their experiences. They're still in the middle of this. They're still going through something. You've processed this already. There's something, they're mirroring something. You understand their circumstances. You understand what it's like to be in their shoes almost. But you've done the work already. It's like you've done the work, you've learned the lessons. You're kind of in a space where you've cleared out from this kind of stuff quite some time ago, actually, but they haven't. Part of the connection between you, you know, for some of you this is an intimate partnership or some aspect of that. It's definitely partnership that's around. But the connection with this particular person to you, the attraction, the link, you know, the resonance, is that what they're going through now is something that you understand, because you've already, it's kind of like you've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. And in a way, their attraction to you is almost that you could fix this for them in some way, shape or form, but actually that's not really appropriate. They kind of need to do this for themselves. There's a level of work, a level of soul growth, and that they've got to process something. So you're resonating in some way because you understand them. And they are certainly, they've attracted your attention, they've attracted your gaze, they've attracted you, they're attracted to you, you're attracted to them. But the problem is within this situation that things are not entirely equal. There's a part of them that is still quite almost like childlike within their growth and their evolution. They are looking to you because you have the strength. You've already learned the lessons. It's like they see you as someone who can bring them the light, bring them the happiness, the abundance that they desire. They do actually see you as somebody who is very sorted. They see you as somebody who is sorted. They can see that you have genuinely done the work. They are very much in admiration of you, but their needs are overshadowing the balance with your own. And as you are attracted to them in some way, shape or form, the connection, you naturally are supporting them. But in doing so, I think you're probably noticing that when you connect with this person, whether it's at work, it could be somebody, a subordinate at work, or even an equal person at work. But if they are in an equal position, they're actually relying quite heavily on your input to do the job. So you're sort of almost like picking up the pieces and carrying something of their role for them, if this is a working relationship. And you're seeing this, you're beginning to see it quite clearly. They're quite reliant. Could you just give me this piece of information? Could I just, could I just get that from you? And you're suddenly realizing you're doing quite a lot more. You're doing more than your fair share, and you're not getting the recognition that you deserve for that. If it's a personal relationship, it's someone who's coming in from quite a childlike position and actually really seeking approval. And because you're very giving and you have the experience, you're able to offer them support. But for you to be happy and to get on track, and I think you're beginning to see this, I don't think they can give you something on equal terms. That's really what I'm seeing here. It's as if your needs are going to sort of, there's a danger that your needs could become diminished, because they're wanting you to give them the direction that you yourself have found in your own life through doing the work. You've cleared away this aspect of your world a long time ago, reading number 2, and I really honor that you've done that work. You're not the one to provide them with abundance. You need to and this is where we have these other cards coming in, the Bone Collector and the card of commitment. And these are really, really important cards here to bring, your spirit team are bringing you really important information here. The Bone Collector is saying, look, you are whole and complete in yourself. Okay, you don't need actually this other person. What you need is either a colleague or a partner or a connection, whatever it is, whatever your personal situation, your spirit team is saying to you, look, you need somebody on equal terms. And the key here is to make a commitment to yourself. I want to say your vibe attracts your tribe. But what can sometimes happen is that your light attracts somebody, your process, the hard work you've already done will attract somebody who is looking to do something similar or looking for your guidance, your support. You're needing to kind of bring your attention back to yourself and bring your boundaries back in here. The signs are being shown to you. Now I'm going to draw some more cards for you, reading number 2, because the commitment card is lovely and it does suggest that the right relationship, 10 of Vessels, happiness, a card of abundance, is going to come to you. We have a stork here, a new beginning. And of course, doing these readings at a time of Lammas in the Northern Hemisphere here, Lammas is about honouring the harvest, which in turn contains the seeds of the future. I feel like you need to honour your own growth, your own entitlement from that, and it's like in taking an ownership of your amazingness and the work that you have done that has given you this strength. It's like the world is your oyster, the world is in your hands, your desires, your dreams, the seeds of the future. Anything you wish to grow in this card of strength, it's actually in your hands. It's not for you to be giving and supporting someone else's growth at the expense of your own. Okay, so there's an issue around boundaries, and even if there's any learning, it's for you, it's about the learning to hold on to your own entitlement, because there's a danger you lose sight of it when someone around you they're really delightful. There's nothing harmful about the energy of this person. It's just they're very sort of childlike, actually. They like and they see you as someone who can deliver, and because there's no harm or ill intent, actually, it's just that they haven't grown as much as you, and therefore they're very attracted to you, and because of the resonance, there's a real honesty, a purity in them, actually, that is actually quite delightful, and that's quite attractive to you as well. But that purity isn't enough for you. That's what your spirit team is saying, and I think you know that, you're seeing it. You've grown more than they have, and what you need to do is to bring in someone who meets you in a different space of, I almost want to say, provision, of both the harvest, what they have already, the abundance they have built to give alongside yours, with seeds that you can both sow for the future. So we'll draw some more cards here. I'll draw more from the Wildwood Tarot here. Here's your card. 10 of Stones, home. Okay, this is lovely. I'm actually going to draw some runes as well. Three runes, lovely. Okay, I'm loving this. Right, I'll talk about the runes in just a minute. I'll put them here. So, 10 of Stones, home. Home is where the heart is. You are really, really being supported, invited. I mean, you know, spirit, source, angels, guides, they never tell us what to do. We totally have free will and choice, conscious choice of our own. They're always there to help if we ask for help. Home is where the heart is. They are actually saying to you, you need to make a commitment to yourself and invest in yourself. Literally, there needs to be, I mean, this is Othilla, the rune of separation. When we let go of something, the moment we let go of it, I mean, this is a rune of inheritance, and inheritance, it's like the gain comes because we release something, we relinquish something, we let go of it. So it's like holding your boundaries firm and not giving constantly to someone who can't give the same back to you equally. So there is a call for separation of some sort here. Now we have two runes here. We have partnership and we have Hagalas, the rune of disruption. Now, these two runes are very interesting because I do feel the link here in this reading is about a someone. You know, whether I said it's a subordinate, an equal colleague who is actually taking credit for the work that you're doing, or a relationship connection, or even a family member who's relying too heavily on you. Either way, your attention is being taken, you know, Centauri, by someone else. The signs are there. Okay, but because I think that there's no ill intent and you are very generous, you know, you're naturally giving, but there's a need to bring your boundaries back because your needs would be overridden and quite quickly, I think. Hagalas. Hagalas is the rune of disruption. I think if you remain connected with this person in the way that you currently are without drawing some boundaries, it will cause quite a lot of disruption to your world. That's what your team are saying. Separation is needed. Hagalas also is a rune that says we kind of slowly come to our senses. We realise that something isn't right. Sometimes there's a blooming great sign and we can't avoid it, and we just think, wow, that's really for sure, I can't avoid that. But sometimes this rune is more, you know, we are slowly coming to our senses and we suddenly realise we really need to break free from this. You know, that's the energy of Hagalas. And with partnership, it just does indicate that the essence of this situation for you, reading number 2, is actually it is around a connection with another person. But your spirit team are saying to you, invest in yourself, invest in yourself, your own home. You're literally draw your boundaries up, bring up the drawbridge, and you will very, very quickly find that you will attract to you the right kind of people who can work on an equal footing with you. And, you know, yeah, your vibe attracts your tribe. The abundance you deserve will come. The happiness you will come to you if this is a personal relationship and you're realizing this isn't working for you. It's time to say so. I'm really sorry, because it's always saddening, but there's something too childlike. You're from a conscious perspective, you're well ahead of them, really, and you know that, really. I think it's slowly, it's dawning on you. The signs are being shown. If this is a situation at work, you'll know that you need to start to draw the boundaries and take the credit for your own work and what you are doing, and not allow other people to you know, to cling to your success. The commitment here is to yourself. You have everything you need to move this forwards, and just by drawing in the boundaries, bringing your attention back to investment in yourself, everything will then flow forwards. You know, there's a bit of a learning curve here in being able to say no. you know, without it having to be disastrous before you get there. You know, you have the right to, and this is needing to happen here. So yeah, this is time to invest in yourself, reading number 2, and then the abundance will flow. I mean, to have 10 of stones, 10 of vessels, I mean, wow, you know, bone collector, commitment, wow, I mean, abundance, I mean, this is awesome. You know, the world, I do feel like the world is your oyster. You're in a really strong position here. No wonder people are attracted to you, because you've done so much work to get to where you are. I mean, no wonder people are attracted to you. But because you are so giving, your attention is easily passed. And the resonance is, of course, I honestly think that you really identify with where this person is, because you've been there. But you cannot be the provider of the pathway of results for them. They need to do that work for themselves. That is not your responsibility. They need to do the work, and then the abundance that's deserving for them will come to them because they have done the work too. And that is what your team, your spirit team, are saying to you for your guidance this week, reading number 2. Super Souls, if this is resonating with you and you'd like to get notification of any of my readings, I post weekly on Sundays, lots of in-between readings with very specific questions being answered around different subjects. Do make suggestions for any readings that you want me to do, because I can't respond to all of your comments, but thank you so much for commenting, and thank you so much to those of you who have been giving back, you know, in gratitude in the super thanks in the comments. I really appreciate that. I put lots of free stuff into the world, and that really helps. And thank you all, you know, just thank you all for being here. It's a privilege to read for you. And thank you as well to those of you who have been signing up on Patreon to support the work here too. Thank you. Really, Lamas, this time is such a point of gratitude. It's such an amazing point. You know, the Earth Festival is, all the Earth Festivals are amazing turning points where we give thanks to the Earth for everything that she gives to us, because everything comes from her. You know, the air and the atmosphere that we breathe, the food we eat, these cards, everything is a derivative of our beautiful planet Earth. But of course, what's so amazing is the moment we give back to the Earth and we honor her, we center ourselves in that high vibrational energy of gratitude and appreciation, which speeds up everything that we might want to come back to us. So it's just, yeah, gratitude and this energy of the Earth Festival, of Lamas, of harvest, and within the harvest are the seeds of the new. You know, it's a beautiful energy around. This is a fabulous time for you to commit fully to yourself. I mean, gosh, 10 of vessels, 10 of stones, abundance. I mean, just wow. Reading number 2. But yeah, draw your boundaries, and it's time to separate, because, you know, this is becoming increasingly clear to you. And yeah, you need to have the abundance you deserve for yourself. Reading number 2, I am sending you so much love. And yeah, I give away a free private reading. Every month I have a subscriber draw. So if you want to subscribe and press the bell, the little bell icon, my readings should come into your stream. I do a moon update too. If you want to be in my subscriber monthly prize draw, there's a subscriber email list to add yourself to. I'll put the link in the information box below. And Super Souls, just have an amazing week. And yeah, I am just sending you big respect for the work that you've done, and you are so deserving of your own abundance. You really are. Tons of love to you. Reading number 3, welcome. And you have been drawn to this reading by the card Vine, this beautiful leaf, and the rune of openings. Very interesting, this combination, because this is a card of leadership, actually. And yeah, the rune of openings, it's like it's a rune that says you're going to have a very clear direction to go in. Let's draw more cards before we dive into too much talking at this stage. So because I'm recording these, we are literally in the time of Lamas as I'm recording. So that's the energy, although you can tune into these readings at any time. We're using very earth-centered cards today. They're absolutely beautiful. This is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. card there speaking to us, and that one there too. And ooh, this is the Wildwood Tarot. And we will also use the Enchanted map tarot. Well, tarot is an oracle pack actually. Enchanted map oracle. I will put the names of the cards in the information box below as well, if anyone wanting to tune into them. I am seeing this one here, and actually there's this one here. Okay, let's have a look and see what we have here right now. Do you know, this is just fascinating. This card of abundance has come into every single of the readings, which is fascinating given that Lammas is of course a time ultimately of harvest, and of course within the harvest that is being brought in, that it's the harvest of the grain, the festival of the grain, that's here in the northern hemisphere, but within the grain are the seeds of the future as well. So this is amazing that this card has shown up in every reading. So we have abundance, we have emotions. Let's move these cards here. Abundance, emotions. We have integrity, and we have love. Okay, reading number 3. This is gorgeous. Gorgeous cards. Absolutely gorgeous cards. So you have the Ace of Arrows. That's your first card. You have the Stag. You have the Page of Stones. Oh, this is very, very interesting. You have the Four of Vessels, boredom. Excuse my chuckling. This is such an interesting reading. This is such an interesting reading. Okay. Oh well, these cards are just beautiful. We have the card of Come Together. We have the Bone Collector. We have the Deep Freeze card and the Magical Map Shifter. Okay, I'll just put these to one side for a moment, but we'll come back to them. So this is really, really interesting. This is a weekly guidance reading. So we're looking at what energy, what your spirit team want to say to you at the moment. So this is actually a reading that is pertaining, I think, for some of you to relationship, the coming together, love, you know, here. And it's as though what I feel like your desire for love, let's focus on relationship for those of you who are, for whom, I mean, this does feel like a relationship reading. Now it may also pertain to some aspect of something that you really, really desire, like something that you really want to do, something that you would love to do. You know, because it's a general reading, it's a weekly reading. So we're asking your spirit team for advice and guidance right now. But it's really interesting in the energy of Lammas, because I feel what we're being shown here is that there's something that you are really, really, really desiring. For some of you, it's relationship, it's love, it's intimacy, and it's as though you feel like you keep almost getting it and then it isn't there. It's almost like it slips through your fingers. You kind of, it shows up and you think, yes, this is it. This is the one. I've been focused. I know where I'm going. This is happening, and you're taking actions, and then it doesn't happen. And you sink into this space of sort of despondency, and you kind of like your emotions take over, and you kind of think, oh, it's never going to happen for me. And I feel like you're swinging a little bit like a yo-yo between oh, this is amazing, or this person has contacted me, that's going to work out, or there's this opportunity, I'm really going for it. It's like your energy is soaring into something, streaming into something. You're in such a place of positivity, and then something kind of happens, and it's like your emotions tip out of balance, and you suddenly lose that sense of your own, literally of your own integrity. It's like you lose your own leadership qualities. You lose sight of where you were going. Literally, you're so focused and so amazingly intent on keeping going, and then something doesn't quite work, and literally you're swinging like a yo-yo is what I'm seeing here. Your spirit team are saying, look, you're actually very, very close to achieving what you want. Okay, and this is what we have, these two cards here, the Deep Freeze card and the Magical Map Shifter, and the Bone Collector energy here. Your spirit team are saying to you, look, you have everything. Okay, you actually have everything. Part of the challenge here is learning how to manage your energy, because I feel like you put yourself under pressure to constantly be moving forwards, to feel as if you always have to be ahead of the game. You always have to be on the case. You always have to be, keeping your vision in mind. And what they're saying is, look, slow down. That's your spirit team's advice for you and their guidance for you right here, right now. That's what these readings, these weekly readings are about. What do your spirit team advise? Don't sink into boredom or fed upness or despondency. Slow it down. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy every step of this as a space of discovery. Literally slow it down. Don't try to force it to happen. Don't try to make it happen. You know how I'm going to use love as an example, because it does feel for many of you tuning into this reading that the area is around relationship. It's around love. It's around the manifesting of partnership. You may even be in a relationship but just feel like it's not moving forwards as quickly as you would like it to. But actually, it's time to become your own leader here. And part of leadership means that we know when to move forwards, when to pounce, and when to pause. The energy of lynx is very powerful, because lynx, if you observe a great cat in the wild, they know exactly when to pounce. They wait, they're slow, they're steady. I mean, look at this. We even have a great cat asleep, a lion waiting. There's a time to pause, to rest. There's a time to pounce. Okay, and what your spirit team is saying is, it's almost as if you're needing in this moment to, within you, hold those leadership qualities, not sink into the emotionality of any situation. I love that we have cats everywhere here. Really powerful energy here. We have the lynx here. We then have this beautiful leopard here, sitting with the owl, resting up, integrity. This is a really restful card. And then the lion here, deep freeze. There's a time to move forwards. There's a time to pounce. There's a time to rest up. It's very interesting. So let's just think about the messages that come through the time of Lammas, which is when we're doing this reading. And it doesn't matter when you find this reading, at any time that you find or you tune into this reading, the energy of Lammas is here to influence and guide you. There's something of this turning point of fertility. Okay, so if we think about Lammas itself, the earth festivals themselves are all a point of gratitude. Okay, they are the earth festivals. It is as if the earth herself pauses for a moment between seasons. She pauses for breath. If you meditate a lot and you spend time in nature around these pivotal moments, you can literally feel the energy slowing down, and you can feel that point of turn. Okay, and then we come back revitalized, you know. So even though it's a point of harvest in Lammas, where we're bringing in the grain, we take time to celebrate the abundance that we have, and we give thanks and gratitude. In the Earth Festivals, we thank the earth, because everything that we have, everything that we are, exists because of the earth. Everything that we manifest exists because of the earth. The air we breathe is here because of the magnetic pull that keeps that, you know, that ozone layer of air around that we breathe. Everything, us, the food we eat, even these cards, everything comes from the earth. Ultimately, it's a product of something that is manifested into form from the earth. So we pause. You're being asked to pause, not to lose sight of your desire for love. But a good leader knows when to pause, when to take it easy, when to sit in that space of gratitude, when to love what we have right now, not to collapse into that space of emotionality when we don't have what we want right now and we then move into despondency. Sometimes a pause is needed. And when you pause and you lean into that space of gratitude, because you have everything you need to manifest the love of your life, or whatever it is that you are desiring, because you know you're just going to love it. Whatever opening you want. The key here, your spirit team is saying pause. Take a breath. Don't take a pause in despondency. Take a pause in loving what you have and the abundance of what you have. The moment you press that pause button and you bring your emotions back into balance, the opening will come. And then it will come together. Okay? That's what we're being shown here. It's going to come together. The opening, the clarity of direction will come to you. But a good leader will always know. It's like a parent, isn't it? You know, if you have a child tearing around and you know they can wear themselves out and then get really, really crotchety, you know when to slow them down and get them to stop and eat so that they're recharging their batteries, ready for the next bout of massive enthusiasm. You know, you just know. So you're being asked to become the leader of yourself and the leader of this dream. Hold your vision, hold your intention, but press the pause button here. In fact, even I'm hearing your spirit team say, do this literally on a regular basis. Take pause breaks. Don't always be charging ahead to take the actions that you think you need to bring in that harvest. When you pause and you cherish the harvest you already have manifested, the seeds of the new beginning, the openings you need, will be shown to you very clearly. You're very well equipped to bring in whatever it is that you are desiring, whether it be the love of your life or whether it be some aspect of your life that you just know you'll love and you are desiring and wanting. So reading number 3, this is happening. Look at the clocks as well that we have here. There's so much symmetry in your reading here. The cats coming in, the timing, the clock here in the bone collector, the clock here on the magical map shifter, the shield, you know, with the tree, you know, above and below, the symmetry of the rune of opening. You know, there is symmetry around you. Super Souls, reading number 3. I'm just going to draw some more cards for you, and also some more runes, I think, too. But let's draw more cards to ask for more information. You are being asked to pause, to learn how to manage the ebb and flow of your emotions. It's like learning to, really clear, your guides and your team are saying, learn to be responsive to the ebb and flow of energy, of circumstances, so that recognize that those circumstances are showing you when to move forwards and when to relax. Okay, literally there's like an ebb and flow. When to pounce, when to wait, when to be focused, when to relax. And never in despondency, always in recognition that if something isn't immediately happening, it's because it is better for you to rest, pause, enjoy exactly what you have right now. I mean, this is the energy of gratitude. You know, Earth festivals were a point of giving back to the earth, honouring everything that we get in a space of gratitude and appreciation, which of course is amazing, because from a perspective of the law of attraction, it's a win-win, because actually when you offer gratitude and appreciation for all that you have, you're resonating at that high frequency of gratitude and appreciation, which will of course immediately attract everything you want. So it all comes together. You know, this is the deal. So I am seeing 1 card, 2 card for reading number 3, 3 and another 4th. See what we're shown here, and we will draw some runes, I think, too, for you as well. Okay, so 6 of Stones, exploitation. Yeah, 5 of Stones, endurance. Ah, lovely. This is beautiful for the Green Man, and 10 of Stones, home. Okay. Very, very interesting. Yeah, this is really, for me, this is really rubber stamping exactly the message that you're being shown. It's like if you try too hard, it's like sometimes it's like we're expending, we're taking more energy than we need to be putting into something. It's like we burn out, exploitation. It's like it's like we run dry, and then we feel hard done by, because we've worked and worked and worked and worked, but we've worked in the wrong way. We're trying to get too much too quickly. We're not enjoying the moment. This is a time to really, endurance is lovely, because endurance is, it's almost as though, again, your angels and your guides are saying, look, just slow down. Appreciate, enjoy exactly what you have, because it's that ingredient that goes into the melting pot, into the cauldron of potentiality, the seeds that you're sowing. The gratitude and appreciation of what you have right here and right now is going to bring you the abundance that you seek. Let's draw some runes. Yes, we have the rune of flow, Othilla, separation. This is very interesting. Let's put these here. And another rune. Yes, discernment. Okay. This is really, really interesting. It's giving such a clear message here. I'm going to go back to this point of love as well, of relationship, of calling in a soulmate, or having that relationship that you desire. But as I've said, it could also be something that you know you just love and it's your heart's desire. It could be some other aspect of your world, but there is a flavour of relationship and love here. I think what's happening is that when you meet someone, and so I feel like you swing like a yo-yo a little bit with your energy, reading number 3, it's like instead of seeing somebody who isn't right for you as, or a circumstance or a situation as not being right, instead of seeing it as an opportunity to become more discerning. I mean, this is the rune of discernment, the rune of the spiritual warrior. It speaks of, you know, cutting away the things that no longer serve us. It's like instead of seeing a circumstance or a situation as an opportunity to get much clearer about what you want, Ace of Arrows, breath of life, instead of pausing and viewing it as an opportunity, it's like it feels like a deprivation, because you still haven't got what you wanted. But actually, it's helping you to get much, much clearer about what you want. Okay, so, and it's also teaching you to be discerning, because I think for some of you, part of your journey, and the endurance is really important, this card here, part of your journey, you have had some really big life lessons, and you've come through them and out the other side. You know, you're really getting good at manifesting. Part of the learning is that recognition that when something doesn't fall into place, the separation of that, the decision making, the discernment, the choosing to say no to something is really actually it's been part of your learning curve. You have had to endure some times alone. I really see that. But part of the learning here is about, because I think some of you have had some really difficult challenges within relationship, and it's almost as though it sinks you. When it doesn't happen, you swing emotionally and sink into this place of, gosh, it'll never happen to me. And actually, part of the lessons I think that you're being shown at the moment, and this is where the harvest also contains the seed of the new, is that recognition that it's like, I think some of you have had relationships which actually ultimately ended in really quite difficult circumstances. And part of what you're learning at the moment, or have been learning, is that you're allowed to say no, even if it doesn't have to be disastrous for you to make a choice. I think previously it's almost as though it had to get really bad for you to say no and separate from someone. And now people are, you know, you're meeting people in this process and you're thinking, oh, another one, this doesn't feel quite right for me. But actually, rather than thinking, oh, another one, it's like, oh, wow, I'm really discerning now. You know, I'm really in charge of this. You know, I'm my own leader. I can make these decisions. So that it's like, rather than sinking into the lower vibration of disappointment, it's sinking into the high vibration, stepping into the high vibration of disappointment, which is, wow, I can make decisions here. I'm really conscious. I'm really aware. And so suddenly the endurance isn't something that feels a challenge. It's actually something that feels pretty good, because it's really empowering. It's really, really empowering. You can step aside and be really, you get clearer and clearer and clearer about what you want. And you can pause and you can reflect, and the way just becomes clear to you. And the clearer you are, the more the flow happens. What I'm seeing is, I think this is the circumstances around you right now, the discernment, the not holding on to things that don't serve you anymore. This is actually all part of this cauldron of potential, of manifestation. It's like feeding, feeding this. All you need to do here, reading number 3, is shift the energy. You know, learn when to pounce, learn when to pause. Say yes and say no with delight and celebration. And as you do so, that cauldron of potential is bubbling, and I really think everything is going to come to you. It's going to flow to you. You have everything you need. It's only that when something isn't quite right, you're sinking too quickly into that kind of, oh, maybe it will never happen for me, but it's going to. This is a reading of absolute fertility for you. Look at this beautiful leaf here. Be your own leader. Take charge. If something isn't right, you know, there's going to, you know, you have an opportunity to test the waters as well here. Say yes or no with, you know, set your sights high. Set your sights on the abundance that you desire, you deserve. Give yourself time out. You don't have to push to make it happen. The universe is actively working with you. Absolutely actively working with you. You have everything you need. The only key ingredient is shifting the energy away from disappointment, seeing something like disappointment as a crisis point, and it's not. It's a moment of opportunity. And for anyone that struggles with emotions, I do have a book that I wrote. These readings are not here to plug my books, but it's called Mindfulness Meets Emotional Awareness. I'll put a link to my author page in the information box and the comments. But that will teach you how to use your emotions as a source of empowerment. Disappointment is the best tool in the world, because if you enter something and it's disappointing, it's telling you that some aspect of that is not right for you. So put the brakes on. press the pause button and evaluate. Don't be despondent. Evaluate and think, right, this bit is good for me, that bit isn't. I can now make clearer decisions about how I move this forwards, what I'm going to let go of, what I'm going to keep. And, you know, the way then becomes really clear. Your own definition of your desires becomes clear. And the moment you have that clarity, doorways then open. This is shifting very, very quickly for you. Reading number 3, it really is. Your team, your spirit team are saying to you, this is bubbling away in the background for you. And if there has been a momentary, in this right here moment in time, there's been a momentary blip or disappointment in something or in someone, let it go, move on. Because the pathway is being opened for you. Step up, become your own leader. Don't do this emotional swinging. You have every ingredient you need to make this happen, and it will come together so quickly if the emotionality within you is right. If you're holding that higher vibration of leadership and entitlement, it's just going to happen. You are so close. So close, but the swinging is what's actually creating a blip in the energy flow. I hope that makes some sense to you. Reading number 3, I kind of know what I mean. I'm not sure if I've been terribly as clear as I would want to be, but I kind of know what I'm saying. It's, you know, manifestation is never just a state of mind, it's how we feel. And so it's like infusing our intentions with our feelings of passion, desire, and the high vibrational energy of gratitude and appreciation, and knowing what we want from the heart, not just in like a concept. And, you know, so this is like getting the feeling bit right and not allowing circumstances to tip you into the negative aspect of an emotion, but holding the higher vibration of that emotion as a source of empowerment, so that everything, the doorways then just keep opening and everything flows into being with clarity. I hope that's said in a slightly more clear way. But Super Souls, do access that book if it's helpful to you. I'll put a link to my author page on in the information box. I have a whole library as well about emotions. I'll put a link to that too, because it's full of resources to help you understand your emotions as a source of empowerment. For those of you new to my channel, I worked as an accredited counsellor for over 28 years, so I really get how important emotions are in the way that we manifest and in our health and well-being in every possible way. So do access those resources. The library is completely free and always will be. Super Souls, if you would like to get notification of any of my readings, if you'd like to subscribe and press the little bell icon, they should come into your stream. Thank you for joining me reading number 3. Just sending you all the love and encouragement in the world, because this is just like, it's like simmering away, and the pot of gold is so nearly ready for you, the pot of abundance, of desire, of love. Just press that pause button, bring yourself back into alignment. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful reading. Super Souls, I have a prize draw, a monthly prize draw for my subscribers as well. If you want to be in that, I give away a pack of oracle cards and a free private reading. I announce the winners of that. My colleague draws the names out of a hat every month, and I have a subscriber email list, so if you add yourself to that, you'll be in my monthly prize draw. And again, I'll put links to all these things in the information box below. Super Souls, stay on track. Pause, don't always surge forwards. There's a time to pounce and a time to relax. And don't ever relax into despondency, because you are so close. This is magic. Reading number 3, I am just sending you all the encouragement in the world, and all the love as well. This is a weekly reading, so I look forward to, I hope, seeing you again for some readings, and thank you so much for joining me.